chosen ones, and intense ascension approaches. You're being prepared for a role bigger than you realize. It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. A colossal surge is rumbling beneath everything you thought was your reality, summoning you to stand up and claim the fate that has long been pressing against your bones. Gone are the days of half-hearted dreaming. The hour has struck for boldness, for you have been quietly sharpened by trials you never understood. Until now. This ascension is not a gentle breeze, but a roaring tempest, ready to carry you to a level of spiritual, emotional, and even cosmic authority far beyond your previous sense of self. If you feel that thunder pounding in your heart, like this video, subscribe and comment 77 feet below to signal you're ready for the unstoppable metamorphosis heading your way. Chapter 1. The Surge You Can't Ignore. An unseen storm coils at the edges of your life, and you've sensed its approach, even if you couldn't name it. Maybe you notice your sleep turning restless, riddled with dreams you can't shake, or found that mundane tasks feel oddly insignificant. These are not mere coincidences. They're the early tremors of an ascension wave so profound that once it hits, your life will never be the same. And here's the truth. You can't outrun it, hide from it, or pretend it doesn't exist. The only way forward is straight through it, eyes open, spirit ablaze. This surge is not polite. It won't wait for you to find a comfortable cushion or a free weekend in your schedule. It bursts forth in its own relentless time. Like a cosmic conductor, the universe has orchestrated your challenges and victories so you'd be uniquely primed for this exact moment. Every heartbreak, betrayal, or burst of inspiration was a note in a grand symphony, and now the crescendo nears. If you choose to resist, you'll find yourself battered by spiritual turbulence. But if you yield to the pull, you'll discover an incredible sense of alignment, as though your heart finally beats in sync with a more expansive universe. The real question is, are you willing to let go of the illusions that once felt like your comfort zone? Ascension doesn't allow you to remain half awake. It demands your entire being, stripping away pretenses and pushing you to stand fully in your authenticity. You might lose old friendships that thrive on small talk and complacency. You might find new mentors or kindred spirits who appear as if by magic, drawn to your rising frequency. The chaos in your external world is only a mirror, showing you the energies in flux inside your soul. Embrace it. These fires are forging you. You'll also feel your intuition intensify, like turning up the volume on a radio you forgot was on low. The slightest whispers or feelings become road signs, guiding you through the labyrinth of changes. Dismiss them at your peril. This surge has no patience for second-guessing or indefinite delays. Each sign is a lifeline, showing you how to navigate the swirl of cosmic madness that accompanies exponential growth. Some call it symptoms, the headaches, the fleeting anxiety, the sense of time warping. But it's more than that. It's your system recalibrating to house a bigger version of yourself. Once you accept this unstoppable climb, the illusions of your limitations start to peel away. New horizons blaze into view. Opportunities, alliances, and resources that were hidden until your spirit was ready to see them. It's both exhilarating and unsettling, like discovering hidden wings on your back and realizing you must learn to fly. But you do have wings, dear chosen one, and this ascension wave is the updraft you've unconsciously awaited. Surrender to its flow, and the unstoppable surge will become your greatest ally on the climb to unimaginable heights. Chapter 2. Confronting the shadows that hold you back. As the ascension wave rushes in, it doesn't merely lift you to new heights. It also drags hidden shadows into the light. No true transformation comes without a reckoning with what lurks in the corners of your psyche. These shadows may be old wounds you've neatly tucked away, or negative patterns you swore you dealt with. Now caught in the gale of ascension, these issues stand bare before you, demanding resolution. The discomfort can be intense. Memories you thought resolved might flood back, stoking feelings of anger or sorrow you believed long gone. You might sense unexpected tension in your relationships, as the old dynamics no longer fit the person you're becoming. Or perhaps you see echoes of self-doubt rising, like a last-ditch attempt to keep you bound to your former limitations. Your immediate reflex might be to flee or bury your head in distractions, but this ascension surge is relentless, urging you to stand and face what you've avoided. Yet here's where your power lies. In actively engaging the shadows, not in succumbing to them. This is your chance to purge whatever toxins remain in your emotional or spiritual system. A confrontation with shadow material isn't a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're evolving. The illusions that once led you to believe you were too weak or broken to heal were just that, illusions. By letting the ascension wave carry you, you gather fresh insights, discovering a reservoir of strength you never guessed was there. During this phase, you might rely more heavily on practices that anchor you in the present. Meditation, breath work, journaling, or simply immersing yourself in nature can help ground you amid the swirl of emotional debris. If tears come, let them. If rage erupts, channel it into movement or creation. The shadows you unearth do not define your core essence. They're the remnants you're outgrowing. Each time you give yourself permission to feel and release, you accelerate your own expansion, making space for the higher energies longing to take root. As you shed these layers, you'll notice new clarity settling into your life. Your intuition sharpens, your perspective widens, and you handle daily stresses with the calm that once seemed elusive. It's not that your environment drastically changed, you changed. You no longer drag the heavy baggage of unresolved pain. Freed from that baggage, you can move swiftly, responding to the Ascension's demands with an ease that puzzles those who knew your older self. And what of fear? Fear stands in the corner, whispering that you should cling to old habits because at least they're familiar. But you see through the lie. The Ascension wave, with its swirling energies, is shining a spotlight on every nook where fear once hid. By confronting it, you transform it. Fear becomes a stepping stone rather than a wall. So let these shadows surface. Name them, examine them, then let them dissolve, clearing the path for your unstoppable rise. The moment you choose to integrate or release your shadows, you step fully into the luminous potential that's been pursuing you all along. Chapter 3. Receiving the mantle of a greater calling. Once you begin to see your old wounds morph into catalysts for progress, you realize this ascension isn't random. It's a deliberate elevation intended to prepare you for a role that surpasses your previous imagination. Perhaps you felt a stirring for months or years, an unexplainable sense that your life's blueprint extended beyond your current job title or your day-to-day obligations. Now that stirring crystallizes into undeniable certainty. You are being called to lead, to heal, or to guide on a scale that you once believed was reserved for others. This role might not appear glamorous at first. It could start as a quiet nudge to counsel a friend in crisis or to share your experiences online, sparking hope in strangers. But in these seemingly modest acts, you'll find the seeds of a profound mission. Every soul you help, every insight you pass on, weaves into a tapestry of impact that extends far beyond your immediate circles. The Ascension surge has singled you out for this, not because you're flawless, but because you're willing. That willingness is the magnet that draws in divine resources, orchestrating opportunities that reveal the magnitude of the mission placed in your hands. However, stepping into a bigger role means stepping into bigger challenges. New responsibilities can cast a spotlight on your once hidden flaws or insecurities. Where you managed to get by quietly, you might now find yourself speaking to crowds or shaping the direction of a community, online or in person. It's easy to question if you're truly ready, but recognize that readiness is rarely something you achieve through planning alone. It's a byproduct of the leaps you've already taken. The Ascension wave didn't invite you arbitrarily. It recognized your capacity to evolve into the role required. Expect to feel the universe testing your commitment through subtle, or not so subtle, trials. A crucial ally might vanish unexpectedly, forcing you to rely on your raw inner power. Or a mentor who once guided you may recede, nudging you to become the mentor for yourself, and eventually for others. Each test reaffirms that you are not only able, but destined to hold this mantle. What once felt daunting is now a mantle resting on your shoulders with surprising ease. Your worldview also begins to shift. Petty conflicts or trivial pursuits lose their alert. The call beckons you to something grander, so you naturally withdraw from energies that weigh you down. Friends or relatives might label you distant, but you're not distancing out of arrogance. You're conserving your energy for the tasks that truly matter. This is part of the role you never considered, the unwavering focus that leadership demands. The willingness to set aside small distractions to embrace a broader horizon. Embrace it all, the responsibility, the transformation unfolding daily. The ascension wave has peeled back the veil, showing you that your potential extends far beyond the safe boundaries you once drew. You stand at a pivot point where your deep purpose and the world's great need intersect, forming the battlefield upon which your leadership will shine. You didn't ask for this mantle out of vanity. It sought you out because you have what it takes to wear it well. Chapter 4. The Power of Community and Allies. Even a chosen leader ignited by unstoppable purpose cannot ascend alone. As your role expands, so does your need for camaraderie, for people who vibrate at a similar frequency of determination, faith, and courage. You'll find that one of the hidden gifts of your rapid transformation is the magnetism drawing you into contact with kindred spirits. Seemingly out of nowhere, you might meet someone whose soul resonates with yours, forging an immediate sense of recognition and forging alliances. You shed the old belief that you must be a lone hero. True, your journey remains yours uniquely, but synergy can amplify your strides. You might form or join a small circle of awakened souls, maybe a mastermind group, a spiritual collective, or a creative partnership. These connections act like mirrors, reflecting back the best in you while challenging any lingering illusions. Such alliances become both your supportive backbone and your accountability net, ensuring that your ascension momentum doesn't wane. However, discerning genuine allies requires discernment. Not everyone who crosses your path means well, and not everyone who admires your light deserves a seat at your innermost table. The ascension wave can attract admirers who are more intrigued by your glow than invested in your growth. Listen closely to your intuition here. Those who are truly aligned will celebrate your upward trajectory without envy, eager to see you blossom while also bringing their own radiance to the circle. In this new frontier, you might also find yourself called to mentor or guide those who are just beginning their ascension. Passing the torch becomes part of your mission. As you share insights gleaned from your personal battles, you realize that each person you empower forms another link in a chain of elevated consciousness that spans the globe. Where once you saw only your own struggles, you now perceive a vast tapestry of souls thirsting for liberation. And your story might be their catalyst. Community goes beyond mere networking. It's about fostering an environment where each member fuels the other's transformation. Visualize it as a group of climbers tethered together. If one stumbles, others hold the rope. If one reaches a new ledge, they can pull the rest upward. With each milestone you conquer, your synergy intensifies, reinforcing the unstoppable tides sweeping you all forward. Conflicts may arise, but in the forging fires of communal growth, adversity can bond you even deeper, clarifying each person's authentic devotion. So yes, your ascension is personal, but it's also collective. By choosing to stand tall, you inadvertently become a lighthouse for those traveling the same stormy seas. Seek out, embrace, and build these alliances. Let them ground you when your inner storms rage, and let them fan your flames when your convictions flag. The unstoppable wave hasn't just singled you out, it's chosen an entire generation of souls, each awakened to varying degrees, all marching toward a new dawn. Together you become a mighty chorus, singing the melody of liberation. Each voice distinct, yet harmonizing in the grand overture of a newly emerging consciousness. Chapter 5. Surrendering to Divine Timing. No matter how fiercely you chase your higher calling, there's an inescapable truth. The grand design of your ascension is woven into patterns of divine timing that can't be rushed. You might sense urgency, feeling that every second counts, yet find certain doors remain sealed a moment too long. This is not cosmic cruelty. It's cosmic choreography. There's a flow beneath your decisions and yearnings, and part of your mastery is in gracefully yielding to that flow rather than struggling to outrun it. Divine timing can be maddening to an impatient heart. Perhaps you're itching to unleash a new project or declare yourself fully in your new role, but the universe signals to wait just a little longer, to let certain elements align behind the scenes. Resisting this guidance often leads to friction, wasted energy, or even fiascos that set you back. Contrarily, when you accept the pace of the cosmos, you harness an unseen synergy, like sailing a ship in tandem with the wind rather than battling it head-on. It's also crucial to realize that divine timing isn't about inaction or passivity. Far from it. It's about constant readiness. While the external gate may not open precisely when you demand it, your job is to stay prepared, refining your gifts, strengthening your resilience, and remaining watchful for the subtle signals that the hour has come. In that state of readiness, you become a lightning rod for opportunity the instant the cosmic gates swing wide. The difference is that you're not scurrying in frantic desperation. You're poised, confident, and anchored. For some, this might mean dwelling in an interim phase, a space between the old identity and the new, fully realized self. This in-between can feel like a testing ground, as though the universe is ensuring you truly shed your prior illusions before handing you the keys to a bigger destiny. Instead of viewing this waiting as wasted time, see it as a chrysalis period. Butterflies don't skip their cocoons, and neither can you skip the final stages of transformation. Embrace it. Absorb every last lesson, for soon you'll need them as you venture into the unknown realms ahead. One day you'll look back and marvel at how precisely everything aligned. The relationships that blossomed at just the right moment, the resources that appeared in the nick of time, the inner leaps that occurred when life's storms forced you to adapt. This tapestry is the hallmark of a life lived in tandem with a cosmic pulse that knows far more than we do. By surrendering to divine timing, you honor both your own readiness and the greater orchestration that shapes entire destinies. So as you stand in the swirl of your ascension, hush the frantic voice that claims everything must happen at once. You're not behind schedule. You're exactly where you're meant to be. The wave is unstoppable, but it respects your soul's capacity to integrate. Let each step be guided by that subtle interplay of determination and patience, trusting that the day you fully leap, the environment will be primed and eager to receive the brilliance you've cultivated. Chapter 6. Anchoring light into everyday reality. In the midst of this electrifying rise, a delicate balance emerges. How to remain grounded amid the swirl of transcendent change. After all, ascension can feel heady, fueling your soul with unstoppable passion while risking detachment from the real world's tangible demands. Yet your role is not to abandon the earthly sphere, but to transform it by infusing each mundane moment with the light you're cultivating. In essence, you become the conduit bridging heaven and earth. Think about the tasks you once considered trivial: cooking a meal, conversing with a neighbor, or simply commuting to work. Now each activity becomes an avenue for embodying the elevated frequency you carry. You approach daily chores not as obligations, but as mini rituals in which you can channel presence and gratitude. The difference is subtle, yet monumental. You sense the sacred in the everyday, and the energy you emanate ripples out, affecting those who cross your path. People might remark something about you feels different, calmer, stronger, more alive. This shift doesn't imply ignoring bigger tasks or high-stakes projects. On the contrary, your new vantage allows you to engage those with even more zeal. But it grounds your efforts, preventing spiritual arrogance from making you look down on the everyday. The test of advanced ascension is not how far you can detach from reality, but how skillfully you can remain in it while radiating a transformed presence. The world needs luminous souls operating in its midst, not floating outside it. As you anchor light into your routine, watch for signs of synchronicity. Sometimes an offhand comment from a colleague sparks a brilliant idea, or a child's innocent question unlocks a creative solution you've been seeking. These serendipities aren't coincidences. They're the synergy generated when you blend your newfound frequency with the tapestry of everyday life. The deeper your acceptance of this role, the more such magic will greet you at every turn. Of course, challenges persist, but you greet them from a higher perspective. Where once you might have become entangled in petty drama, Now you see the bigger picture. You respond to frustration with empathy, to conflict with a calm authority that diffuses tension. It's not about being perfect. It's about embodying a standard that lifts the environment around you. By anchoring light, you anchor a higher way of being, demonstrating that even in the trenches of daily life, the ascended viewpoint is not just an ideal, but a living reality. Guard against spiritual burnout, though. Balancing spiritual focus with practical responsibilities demands intention and self-care. If you sense exhaustion or feel unward, return to centering practices, deep breathing, quiet reflection, or communion with nature. Remember, you're not here to carry the weight of the whole planet alone. You're here to let the unstoppable current move through you, trusting that each drop of your effort merges into a wave of collective awakening and anchoring light. You transform every moment into a facet of your ascension journey. The extraordinary merges with the ordinary until they are one and the same. Your presence begins to shift environments by default, serving as a silent beacon to those seeking hope or deeper meaning. This is how your radiant transformation becomes a lived reality, not a fleeting high. Day by day, you gently reshape the world to reflect the truth that ascension isn't an escape from life's demands, but a triumphant embrace of them, fueled by the unstoppable power of your awakened soul. Chapter 7. Opening to the next dawn. So you stand, dear chosen one, at the threshold of a dawn that transcends your earlier notions of possibility. The wave of ascension intensifies its currents, weaving through every fiber of your being, ready to carry you into horizons yet unrevealed. You've recognized and released old shadows, found resonance with kindred souls, and balanced the paradox of anchoring light in your mundane realities. Still, the path before you stretches into a landscape of promise, beckoning you onward, and onward you shall go. Because this ascension isn't a mere phase or a fleeting spiritual high, it's the new pulse of your life. Each day you awaken, the unstoppable tide calls your name, reminding you that you are not just a passerby, but a catalyst for a grand unfolding. The role you're preparing for is larger than any single chapter can describe. It's an evolving mission, shaped by every breath you take in alignment with the cosmic dance you've now embraced. In the stillness between each heartbeat, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your support. Helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.